Well, the big dance has been a big success for me, at least if you've been getting the picks here on the video report. And I'm actually going to give you the rated release for the championship game in just a minute. But that's not the best bet on today's card. The best bet is actually in baseball. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, General Manager, DeMarcoSports.com. And this, of course, is going to be your Monday video report. Listen, I've got to pat myself on the back, and you should too, because if you got yesterday's complimentary play with Connecticut crushing South Carolina, a game that played out pretty much exactly as I forecasted, you have to be happy. But I got to tell you the secret here. How many college basketball games involving women did I watch this year? Zero. How much did I know about South Carolina other than Dawn Staley, who I happened to see in high school when she was in high school playing? Mm-mm, not a damn thing about South Carolina. How much did I know about Connecticut going into that game? Less than I knew about South Carolina. But an hour, hour and a half of research, digging through everybody's opinions, looking at all the numbers and crunching them, it pays off. But that's the difference. I can do that. It's my job. It's what I do 365 days a year. And more often than not, it pays off. So here on the video report, the numbers are pretty damn impressive. 45 and 15 with my last 58 plays in all sports combined, hitting 23 of my last 70. And listen, let's count that as a dance winner too yesterday because it counts. 16 and 4. 16 and 4 in the men's and women's tournament combined, thankfully, because of the U.Conn's blowout win. 16 and 4. So, why am I giving away the plays today? Listen, guys, you know from day one, if you saw my bracket, I had Florida winning the whole damn thing. Now, I thought they'd be beating Duke, but c'est la vie. So, I just can't see, especially for those of you that are on packages with me, costing you a day of your package just to give you a pick that you already know who I'm going with tonight. So customer service is going to extend your packages by a day automatically to compensate for you. Compensate for you, compensate you. Yeah, I'll get that right. And I'm going to give you my selection here. And listen, I've got a baseball play as well. So without further ado, let's get to it. Um, you've got Florida anywhere from a 1 to 1.5 point favorite in this game. I'm going to go with the Gators. What a shock. I know that I'm going with Florida after all that I just told you, right? But that's the reality. I think that Florida is going to finish its mission tonight. You know, there's a couple of things here that I look at Florida, and it comes down to their perseverance and their ability to get off the floor because they've had one miserable first half after another practically throughout this damn tournament, but they keep coming back, in large part because of their outstanding leader, Walter Clayton Jr., who has had back to back 30-point games here in the Elite Eight and the Final Four. The last guy to do that was that guy, Larry Bird, a couple of hundred years ago. Uh, and let's give Houston props too, because they did rally from 9 down in the final 3:30 to beat Duke 70-67, thanks to that 15-3 closing run in a game that Duke was totally in control, all except for the last 2 to 3 minutes. But playing devil's advocate, I have to say, well, what happened to Houston for 95% of that game? Why did they find themselves trailing in that game? Because Duke was the better offensive team. Yesterday, I told you that normally defense wins championships, right? But I felt that offense was the way to go in the Connecticut South Carolina game. And I think tonight, offense is the way to go with Florida, too. Listen, there is an interesting stat here that comes into play. There has not been a national champion in 11 years with a defense that's more efficient than its offense opponent. Well, Houston's the defensive team, Florida's the offensive team. And again, I like the way that Florida, despite all the turnovers, despite the horrible first half play, they did it against Connecticut. They did it against Maryland. They pulled off that miraculous comeback against Tennessee. They did it against Auburn. This cat has more lives than anything I know, but the Gators keep on doing it. So why not back them once more? Now, are they going to need some contributions from Starting forward, Alex Condon, who clearly is hampered by that sprained ankle he suffered in the Maryland game. Yes, they're going to need some contributions from him. Are they going to need another big game from Clayton? Yeah, they're going to need that too. And they're going to have to crash the boards, which they should be able to do considering their height and considering the height that they have coming off the bench, the length. And yet you saw how Houston out-rebounded Duke 42-31 and outscored Duke in second chance points 19-12. But the Cougars are going to want to slow the pace. And this is not something foreign to Florida. Tough phrase to say, let me tell you. Because remember, Tennessee did it to them. Connecticut did it to them. And they managed to pull off both of those wins. Now, a lot of guys, once again, playing devil's advocate for Houston, will say, well, hey, it's at the Alamo Dome. It's in San Antonio. All those Duke fans left town. All those Auburn fans left town. You know who picked up all those tickets. Yeah, it was Houston fans because Houston's only 3 hours away from San Antonio, I think, if you look at the map. So it's going to be a partisan crowd. But did that stop Florida when they had to go play in Nashville and beat Tennessee for the national championship? No, it did not. You know, it's interesting, although Houston is a slight dog here, that 7 straight title game underdogs have lost outright. And you look at that defense versus offense situation again. 3 of Houston's 4 losses this year came against opponents with top 5 offenses. Florida, however, was 5-1 this year against teams with top 10 ranked defenses. And this is a Houston team that's 2-4 in games when they allow 69 points, and Florida has scored less than 70 points just once this season. In fact, the Gators come in here with that 11-game winning streak where they've averaged 89.5 points a game. So again, I'm going to go with Florida here. Now, how am I rating it? How am I going to go with the Gators? It's just going to be a small 10-dime play, and there's a reason behind that. If you remember, the Monday before the tournament started, if you happen to be at DeMarcosports.com and you happen to be a package player, and I'm talking to you, you know I told you to play Florida to win it all, plus 375 plus 385. I think it was 385 off the top of my head. Well, why do I want to risk even more and double down on the Gators tonight when I have them at big time plus money? So it's just a small 10-dime play. Now, that's a medium rated play because 99% of my plays are rated 5, 10, and 15 dimes. But again, I think the Gators are the way to go. But my best play tonight is actually going to be a 15-dime release in baseball, where I'm going to go with the Padres plus $1.10 on the run line, and that's a late game at 10:05 Eastern time, where they are playing in Sacramento against the Oakland A's. Listen, Michael King's first start was pretty bad. He was in the home opener against Atlanta, and he was roughed up. 2.2 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 4 walks. But his second game, also at home, this time against Cleveland, 5 innings of work, 2 hits, shutout ball, 11 strikeouts, which is what we're more accustomed to after his breakout season a year ago, and just 1 walk. And King, even though he pitches in a pitcher's park in Petco, and I dare you to say that 3 times quickly, he actually had a better record on the road last year than he did pitching in San Diego. On the road last year, he was 9-4 with a 2.65 earned run average in 17 outings, 16 of them starts. At Petco Park, 3.32 earned run average. Again, very damn respectable in 14 starts and a 4-5 record. And in night games a year ago, he was 9-3, that's home and away combined, with a 2.41 earned run average in 17 outings. Again, 16 of them being starting assignments. Now, the Padres took that 7-game winning streak, 7-0 start into Wrigley Field this weekend. They were fortunate to win the final game, so they lost 2 out of 3. But you got an Oakland team that I find is very interesting that they're 0-3 at home. And they got swept by the Cubs in those 3 games, and they got outscored 35-9 because it is a hitter's park. No doubt about it. It's not a nice park, but it's a hitter's park, it seems. And Luis Severino has worked 6 innings in each of his starts. Now, at Seattle in the first start, it was 3 hit ball over 6 shutout innings, but he walked 4. At home against the Cubs, a different story. 6 runs in those 6 innings, including a pair of homers, and he walked 2 more batters. So again, the Padres are actually the better play tonight, a 15-dime release. And then Florida is a 10-dime play. I've said many, many times over the years, guys, that marquee games are the toughest ones to win because there's absolutely no value in the line. You see that tonight. There is no greater example. None. I don't know what the sports books need to win, nor do I give a damn, because I always find those stories very interesting. Like, I'm supposed to feel sorry that XYZ Sportsbook or the Vegas books as an entity, as a whole, lost money. Oh, please, let's get out the Violin Society for these damn books. They lost money on a game. Damn it. I'm so sad. I'm so upset about this. But again, the marquee games still are the toughest ones to win. What we can hope for is another great game. Everybody was so worried about it being a chalk tournament. How were Saturday's games? Pretty damn good, right? Anyway, that'll do it, guys. I wish you well and talk to you again soon.